yes.
Okay, well,
So-
it seems to be wanting to work for me.
Okay, let me set something off then.
Hold on.
42.
What up, nerd?
It's working now.
Okay, we're good.
So, hey, we got it fixed. So, points can be spent now.
Yeah,
No.
I've been using Mix It Up.
Okay.
Drum was showing me that because like I made him some channel point video things, and then he was showing me how he was setting them up.
Yeah,
And
so
then
I'm
gave
using
that a try.
I'm using sound alerts and blurb currently.
I've heard of Blurb.
Blurb's cool because like from what I understand, as you watch my streams, you can gain points for it or some shit. You can convert points or something, but oh wait, no, there's no checks over there. That's randomizer only.
All the randomizers
Checks. Have rotted.
You're
my
like,
brain.
oh, I gotta go check. Oh wait, I can't yet. There's rules.
But Blurb's cool because like you can like buy points or something, but you can actually like send custom ones. Zester was doing it the other night. Like you can save points up somehow and just kind of start sending out different sound effects essentially. So
Gotcha.
it's pretty cool.
So Mix It Up is something that runs on your computer like OBS.
Okay.
So you have to have everything kind of like essentially like on your computer instead of like through a website.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like I still use Stream Elements for like my alerts, but the channel rip points
You exist. That's right.
With Mix It Up have been pretty good. I would say like I haven't run into any issues. In fact, I'm always discovering little things that I didn't know Mix It Up could do, and it's got like a lot of different things open sourced and functions that like it's not just channel points. It's like there's so many different things in it.
No, not there.
And then because it's all in Mix It Up, it kind of I feel better about that because like I don't want to like end up using like a bunch of different things for like, oh, like I use this for this and this and this and this. You know, I want to try and solidify it down to like, oh, I use like this handles like 90% of everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, because of all of those randomizers you've done, I don't know if you saw me catch myself there. Fuck. Forgot there's no bombs down here anymore. Yeah, like I about ran into just random doors. Just because like now I'm used to it. I'm used to just checking everything.
It's like what's in here? Oh, I know what's in here.
It's taking so much out of me not to hit escape and just start marking a map that's not even pulled up. Like
You're having PTSD.
Dude, in the best way possible. Like I'm sitting here realizing, oh, this is gonna be easy. Now I'm gonna sit down and do my randomizers again and be like, I am so fucking lost. What am I doing?
When the normal game isn't as fun anymore because you're used to getting like, oh, a random chest. It's my sword.
Well, that's why I do it once a year, man, is because it's actually fun after a year.
Right.
You know? Like last year I did it when I first got my computer built up to actually stream. And yeah, it was fun then. And then like I legitimately just kind of Yes. Oh my god, just give me the fucking item. I forgot that like I actually have to talk to you now.
You're used to the instant gratification.
Oh my god, it's killing me.
What are you doing?
But anyways, when I beat the game last year, it was just kind of like a, you know, I did it and then I went to go play it again and like I just kind of set the control down and was like, fuck it, I'll do it next year. Like I'll just play it again. And then you're like, hey, what if we test your times? You know, what if we look at that? What if you start competing against yourself? You know, once a year. I don't think I'm going to become a speedrunner though. That does not sound appealing to me.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
It does and it
not for
doesn't.
everyone.
That's a lot of like, I got to start learning certain tricks more. I just figured out one. I don't need another one, you know?
So, I mean, like, yeah, there's those categories in speedrunning where it's like, yeah, this is the category where everyone does this bullshit, and then they like glitch through a wall, and it's like, oh, it's frame perfect,
Yeah,
which means you're gonna have to sit here and practice it 4 days
yeah,
to
dude.
just maybe get it once.
Yeah, and like,
You know?
I mean,
But then there's other like categories of like, hey, this is just like run through it as fast as you can, you know?
I am.
Do it for you, not for like, oh, well, I'm gonna put this on speedruns.com. Like you're just doing it like if you want to, and you can then say, hey, this is my time. I did it in an hour, you know? Like whatever, you know.
I forgot if I actually need something now.
It's all about like building up your own personal confidence. Like, yeah, you know, if it's fun, and you don't want to do it if it's not fun.
Yeah.
Who cares, you know?
But
And
I mean,
if not your thing, like you know.
I've already noticed like a speed up in a lot of stuff with me, because if you look down, we started around the 35 mark, and I think last year I was like more towards like a 25 minute, and I was getting to this area kind of. So like, I noticed that it's taken me less time to actually get through the rescue. You know, I've shaved like I think 5 minutes off of that.
Well, even though the randomizer's not the vanilla game, it's still like the same maps, and you're still traversing the same. It's still practice, you know. It's just
it's just
not the same cannon fodder. It's not like, oh, I played the same thing, the same game, the same levels.
Yeah,
the whole
and
time,
I mean,
you know?
also like shit.
Variety is what keeps it less boring.
Yeah. So it's just kind of taught me different strategies and tips and thoughts to actually get through certain areas, you know? Like, now I get how to do all the checks, like, in one foul swoop, essentially. And then dungeons go faster, you know, because now I'm, like, set up for, like, doing weirder things and what have you.
And, you know, there's also, like, you got to make those mistakes. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are just, like, essentially... No. You're learning from them. So when it comes to like, let's say you go a certain pathway and you kind of like just through all the randomizers and all the trial and error, you remember like, oh hey, yeah, I can check these, but I'm gonna skip or wait on that one because of this reason, and you start to micromanage the different like checks and the quicker way to do them instead of just like, oh hey, well, you know, I thought I was gonna be able to get this, and but you learned that lesson a few randomizers ago, where you essentially realize it's quicker to just go grab this real quick and then come back. Yeah. Like there's all these different things you can kind of pick up on.
Yeah. So I mean, like we're gonna do the base checks, and then we're gonna go take down the Eastern Palace. That'll take like probably 10 minutes. I imagine the Eastern Palace is gonna take less time because like I don't grab everything in the Eastern Palace essentially. I think there's like one thing I miss.
A lot of things you can skip. Like essentially like anything that you know, like, oh, the compass is over here and you don't...
I don't actually need the compass. I just need...
Yeah. Like half the time in the rando it gives it to you because you don't know what's in the chest and you're checking everything.
Yep.
You know? And so like you can choose what to skip in these.
But like once again, I've been running the 100%ers. So like now I'm just like grabbing every chest because I can get to him quick.
Right.
I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I've got this like figured out more. So like I don't know, man.
No, it's good. It's progress.
It's definitely a different feeling, you know, knowing like going in more and more confident each time. Because
I remember a couple of years ago, there was like. Did you ever get into like the Donkey Kong Country 64, the 64 like collectathon games?
No, not that I know of.
So, like Banjo-Kazooie or Mario 64.
I did. Like... I played Mario 64, but like not a hell of a lot. I think I beat it twice, and that was like the end of. Oops, I keep running into that because I looked over. It's fine. I got 3 left. I never fully got into those games, you know.
Spyro the Dragon at all?
Nope, I didn't play Spyro until college.
But you played it.
Yeah, I've played it, but like.
Okay. No, they're just similar in the sense you got a 3D world, and then like go find like all the like each level has this many of this thing, this many of this thing, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, most of the games that I play like were horror and shooters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just one of those like that was just my style of game that I played all the time.
No, reason I was asking is because like a couple of years ago, they apparently found another coin in Donkey Kong 64
Oops.
that nobody knew was there. Like essentially, like
Can I do it?
everyone has been 100%ing this game, but there's like this one item that doesn't count towards your percentage. It's just like, you know, a normal coin, but it was like hidden under a mound, and that mound was under like grass, and people were walking over it for years because they couldn't just see the thing. And you know, it's just like funny how like after 20 years people still hadn't found everything in the game. And what's funny is even the player's guide itself didn't have any indication that there was something there.
Mm-hmm.
So when they made the player's guide, even the people making the guide didn't see it.
Oh Jesus.
And so it was just like, and it was one of those things like you could totally just skip this. Like you don't need this. It'd be like if you found something that was like, oh, it gave me 50 rupees. And it's like, you know, I don't need it, but it's just one of those things. It's like it's still a chest.
Yeah.
It's still a thing to find. And geez, you're like living on the edge here. Like, don't die.
It's the randomizers, dude.
But but yeah, so like Donkey Kong 64 was always notorious for like imagine like, okay, you're playing Zelda, like, you know, you're playing Link to the Past,
Mm-hmm.
and you have 5 characters that you have to play in the game. There's not just Link.
Yeah.
And then not only that, there's unique items that only Link can get. So there's the Link items, there's the Zelda items, there's the Ganon items, there's like all the characters have their own unique items. So you have to basically play through the game with 5 different separate characters.
Okay.
And if you go, oh, hey, I found over here, there's something for Link. Oh, I found the ice rod. And then over in the corner is like, oh, hey, there's some coins that only Zelda can get. And you got to go get Zelda and come back.
Oh, got you.
And so it just became this, like, super tedious collectathon where there was too much to collect. And everyone had unique colored items. So it's like, oh, yeah, Donkey Kong, he's the yellow bananas. But then there's, like, 4 other banana colors.
Oh, God.
And 4 other Kongs.
That sounds
and you got to go back.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
As a 10-year-old kid, it was the greatest game ever. just because, like, I loved Banjo-Kazooie, I loved Mario 64. This was just the same thing, except now I got multiple characters. More characters, I love more characters, you know?
Yeah, I like more.
Right, and it's just like, the only people who don't like it are the people who, like, played it in their 20s or 30s, or they grew up and played it first, they didn't play it as a kid. Because then it's like, oh, they have standards. They're like, I have to come back to this spot like 5 times to get the 5 separate items for 5 separate characters. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I don't mind that stuff, like, too hard. Like,
it is one of those things where it's like, it's just kind of like there's this long hallway of things to do in this one level, and you're going to have to go down that hallway multiple times.
I mean, that was like Skyward Sword to me. Because, like, you had to go, especially in the desert palace, like, desert section of it all, you had to go, like, forwards and backwards in time so much.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what that sounds like to me.
And the thing is like, it really depends on the person's preferences. Like, if you don't like those kinds of games, then, yeah, you won't like it. But I felt like it was, like, impressive how much just content, like, that was my sandbox game as a kid. There was just so much to that world to explore. And not only that, like, each character did feel unique enough. They had similar controls, but it was like they still had, like, their own unique personal quirks to how they controlled stuff. And so
I mean, in a sense,